is it that Americans practically have palaces for houses? Every time I've seen an American on my For You page, they have got a mansion. They've got the stairs that, take up the whole hallway. It's luxurious. What are we doing in the UK?
American houses are just insane.
Because of the World Cup, if you open up social media right now, you will find a massive trend of British and European travelers stepping inside normal American suburban homes and completely losing their minds. To the average American, a 2,500 square foot house with a 2-car garage, a walk-in closet, and a quarter-acre yard is just a standard middle-class milestone. It is where you move when you start a family. But to a visitor from Europe or the United Kingdom, walking into this space feels like stepping inside a private palace. To them, the master bedroom closet alone is the size of a studio apartment in London or Paris. They stand in the middle of a massive open-concept kitchen, completely bewildered that this is considered an average home for an average family. This creates a fascinating economic paradox. Why is there such a difference in how homes are built in America versus Europe? The sheer volume of the American home is not an accident of geography. It is the result of a deliberate 80-year engineering project that fundamentally rewrote the economics of shelter. And the first secret behind this massive space advantage is a construction method that foreigners frequently mock, but American builders completely mastered. A lot of Europeans see the wooden framing of American homes during construction and call them flimsy, or compare them to cardboard boxes. In Europe, the legal and cultural default is to build residential homes out of heavy solid brick, stone, or concrete block. But what foreigners call cheap, American developers recognize as a hyper-optimized masterclass in structural economics known as stick-frame timber construction. North America possesses an unparalleled abundance of softwoods, specifically Douglas fir and southern yellow pine. Over the last century, the United States built the most efficient timber supply chain on Earth. Building with light wood framing is vastly cheaper and faster than European masonry. A team of skilled American carpenters can completely frame a 3,000 square foot suburban home much quicker than if it were done in Europe. A brick and mortar build in Europe requires intensive, slow, and incredibly expensive specialized labor. More importantly, wood framing unlocks an architectural superpower: volume. By utilizing engineered wood trusses, American builders can span massive rooms without needing thick, load-bearing interior stone walls to hold up the ceiling. This allows for the high ceilings, double-height great rooms, and massive open kitchens that define the American layout. By utilizing light timber, American builders can deliver twice the interior volume for a fraction of the structural cost. What looks flimsy to an outsider is actually a highly advanced economic hack to maximize square footage per dollar. The second reason American homes are so incredibly large comes down to a fundamental rule of real estate economics: the land-to-building ratio. In Europe, major cities are historically constrained. They are bounded by ancient borders, strict agricultural protection laws, and government-mandated greenbelts designed to prevent cities from expanding outward. Because you cannot build outward, land values in European suburbs are astronomically high. When land is that expensive, builders are forced to make the footprint of the house as small and narrow as possible to turn a profit. America chose a completely different geographical strategy. The creation of the 1956 Interstate Highway Act allowed cities to expand radially outward in every direction. Because mega developers can purchase massive tracts of cheap agricultural land 30 or 40 miles outside of city centers. The baseline cost of the dirt itself is incredibly low. When a developer buys cheap land, the easiest way to maximize their profit margin is to build a larger house. In the United States, real estate appraisals are heavily driven by the price per square foot metric. Once the expensive structural foundation is poured, adding extra drywall, timber studs, and carpet to create a fourth bedroom or a dedicated media room costs the builder very little money. But on paper, it dramatically raises the square footage, allowing the builder to command a much higher listing price. The American suburban market is literally incentivized to build big. But developers did not just start building giant blocks and houses on their own. The entire layout of the modern American neighborhood was heavily standardized by the government. Following World War II, the United States faced an unprecedented housing shortage for returning veterans. To solve this, the Federal Housing Administration, known as the FHA, stepped in. They did not just back the mortgages. They created highly strict underwriting manuals that dictated exactly how a neighborhood had to look to qualify for government funding. The FHA heavily favored the single-family detached home model over dense apartments. They standardized minimum lot sizes and mandated wide setbacks from the street to ensure a clean, prestigious visual aesthetic. This financial blueprint is the exact reason why local councils across the United States passed zoning laws that locked the quarter-acre, single-family block into place as the legal default. It built a regulatory moat around the suburbs. You legally could not build small, cramped row houses even if you wanted to. When you look past the internet debates over whether wood or brick is a superior building material, the real estate data reveals an undeniable truth. The American real estate machine successfully engineered a system that treats interior space not as a rare luxury for the ultra-wealthy, but as a standard expectation for the middle class. By combining cheap land, abundant timber infrastructure, and standardized zoning laws, America created a level of spatial autonomy that the rest of the world simply cannot replicate. The next time you see a traveler marveling at a massive suburban kitchen or a 3-car garage, remember that you are not just looking at a big house. You are looking at the result of an incredibly efficient, uniquely American economic machine.